Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Plot Twists and Freudian Slips podcast.
I'm Jules, a licensed therapist who spends all day analyzing people.
And I'm Mary, a diehard bookworm who loves to use books as an escape from reality.
And this is the podcast where we take your favorite fictional characters, drag them out of their fantasy worlds, and put them right here on our couch.
Because sometimes happily ever after is actually just codependency in a trench coat. So, Jules, before we open today's file, I thought we could do something a little different, starting with our highs and lows of the week. But instead of calling it highs and lows, I thought we could call it our sunshines and our grumpies. Kind of a play on of a romance trope, if you will.
Absolutely, I will. All right. So, then what's your sunshine?
My sunshine for this week is I'm getting my hair done today. Yep, so that'll be really nice. I'm going to go for more of like a orangey copper than what I have going on right now. So
Cowboy copper.
Yeah, exactly. And my grumpy, I have to stay late at work a few nights this week for extra activities that I have to do. For those that don't know, my full-time job is an activities coordinator at a senior living facility. Usually I just have a pretty straightforward 8 to 4:30 type of day, but a couple days this week I have to stay till like 7:30.
Bummer.
Yeah. What about you? What are your sunshine and grumpy?
Yeah, I'd say my sunshine is I am flying home to Florida to start Christmas festivities with my family this week. So very excited about that. And my grumpy of the week would probably be that I have one more assignment that I need to turn in for one of my classes. And I've been putting it off, even though it's super simple. So we love to procrastinate over here.
Absolutely. Is there a reason why we procrastinate, Miss Therapist?
That is a great question and a loaded question that I think I think there's no one answer for every person for procrastination. Okay. It can look different for different people.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair
it depends definitely on your motivations, consistency, dopamine levels, all that good stuff.
Good to know.
Yeah, sorry. I know that's not the answer you were looking for.
It's fine. Are you the type of person who likes to read on your plane trip?
I get airsick, so no. But I do like to listen to books or podcasts or things like that. But yeah, I have a hard time actually reading because I'm already kind of nauseous in the sky. What about you?
Yeah, I do. I usually just read on like Kindle Unlimited because I don't want to like lug around like a physical book.
Right.
Or I'll just like scroll on TikTok endlessly for 3 hours of the plane ride. Probably not great, but
a little bit of doom scrolling.
Yeah. Recently, and I wanted to talk to you about this because I'm going to recruit you to do it with me, and you have no choice but to accept because we're putting it right here on the podcast.
Okay.
So we're going to see. Okay. Have you heard of High Rocks?
High Rocks?
Yeah, HYROX.
HYROX. Oh, is it isn't that a gym?
It's not a gym, it's like more of a competition workout style thing.
Okay, tell me more.
Okay, so you and I are going to do it.
Love it, okay.
Because you can do like, there's women solos, men solos, and there's same gender partner and then like mixed gender partners. But it's basically like a workout challenge competition thing that tests like your endurance and a little bit of your strength. And because I know that you have gotten into running lately, I thought you'd be my perfect victim or subject to come with me and do it and do an competition. We'll obviously have to train.
Immediately no.
You're not allowed to say no because we're here on the podcast. So
I will have to look at all of the parameters and then I'll have my people talk to your people.
Got it. No, so basically, it's a combination of like running, sandbag, weighted lunges, wall balls. No, you're gonna do it. I fear you're gonna do it, and a few other things. But it'd be so fun to do it, and you can like split it up between the two of us.
I love that you love this idea.
Oh, and I love that you're gonna do it with me.
We'll have to circle back to that one. Yeah.
Yeah, we are, because we're going to start training, and then we can keep the podcast updated on our endeavors.
Yeah, you heard it here first. I'm apparently doing this High Rocks.
Yep.
This hydroplane.
Hydroplane. And we'll obviously have enough time to train before whatever competition we sign up for.
Yes.
But I'll send you a video of, like, a girl who did, like, a partners one.
I'm terrified, but
You should be, but also I think it'd be so much fun for us to do.
I will look into it. I will give you that.
Okay, I'll send you some videos.
Not the evil laugh. I love it.
If you're new here, here's how this works. I bring in a book or a character to the table that Jules hasn't probably heard of or read. I give her the plot, the drama, the red flags, the tea, if you will.
And then I apply actual clinical theories to explain why they're acting like a chaotic mess. So we talk about symptoms, diagnoses, and treatment plans.
Basically, I ruin the romance with logic.
And I ruin the fantasy with science. It's a great partnership. Mary, any trigger warnings, spoiler alerts, things that you need to mention before we get into it?
Absolutely. There's definitely some heavy content and trigger warnings for this book, and so we will have those listed in the show notes. So please read those if you feel like you need to. If something is too triggering for you, we totally understand, and we'll just see you in the next episode. Also, a quick disclaimer, because we're going to be talking about the book and the characters, there'll be major spoilers for that book in particular and the characters. So if you haven't read this book, pause the episode, go read it, come back, or if you don't care about spoilers, then we'll just hop right in. Well, Jules, you ready to open the file?
I've got my notepad ready. Who is walking into the office today?
All right, this one's a doozy.
Again?
Yeah. So, the book we're starting with today is the Mindfuck series. It's technically a collection of 5 books, but the 5 books are like 100 pages each. They're really short, but they all come together as one.
That's what it's called?
The Mindfuck series, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm ready.
So our main female character is Lana Myers. She is 26 years old, works from home as a buy-sell trade online store with her best friend Jake, and she is a revenge serial killer.
Okay, pause.
Yeah.
She herself is a revenge serial killer.
She is.
What is that?
So basically, the revenge serial killer, kind of based off from the FBI, is someone who avenges something that was done wrong to them or someone else. Typically, these revenge killers will then escalate to anyone who just kind of gets in their way or like innocent people, and it ultimately ends with the revenge killer either killing themselves or dying by cop or whatever.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, like death by cop or something.
Yeah.
So let me just summarize this to make sure I'm on the same page. Her name is Lana.
Mm-hmm.
She's 26, works from home with her friend, Jake. And in her spare time, kills people who have done bad things. So that might look like, I don't know, like a child predator or other murderers.
It's more like revenge killing for the stuff that happened to her when she was a teenager and the stuff that happened to her family.
Gotcha.
So she has a list of these people that she is checking off that she kills.
But that wronged her personally.
Yeah.
All right. Let's dive into it. Tell me more about this Lana.
Yeah, so she's obviously pretty closed off based on what happened to her when she was, I believe she was 16 when the traumatic event happens to her.
Mm-hmm.
Very closed off, doesn't really get too close to people. Her best friend Jake is really who she's only friends with because she knew him when she was 16 as well.
Mm-hmm.
He actually helps her with the serial killing. He is really tech savvy and whatnot, so he helps set up cameras, things like that, make sure she's not going to get caught. And one day she is sitting at a cafe and she meets Logan Bennett.
Okay.
And Logan is 29 years old and he's in town as a FBI agent investigating a series of seemingly connected murders, i.e. her murders.
Gotcha. Hey. Wow. So there's obviously going to be some problematic behavior with our main character. What can you tell me, thinking of an intake session, some questions, what can you tell me about Lana's background? Like family life, siblings, where she grew up, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so she grew up in a really small town called Delaney Grove. It's very corrupt police, things of that nature. When she was early teens, her mom died in a car accident. A few years later, there was a serial killer going rampant in that town, killing women, and her dad was accused of being that person, which he was not. He was very clearly not, but the sheriff just wanted to put someone away. Gotcha. So they arrested him, and he supposedly hung himself, but everyone's like, he wouldn't do that. So then once that happened, then the sheriff told his son and his son's friends to go get revenge on her dad. So they took Lana and her brother and gang raped them.
Okay.
Yep, because basically one of the victims was the sheriff's daughter.
Gotcha. Okay.
So he's like, the only way to get back at this man is to hurt his kids. So they attacked them. And
how old is her brother?
I believe her brother was a little older than she was at the time.
A little older. Okay.
Yeah. Her brother was gay, and was in a relationship with Jake, her best friend, as you know. But because of the small town and like the mentality around those small towns, he was not out.
Gotcha.
Per se. Or he was, but Jake didn't want to like announce to them that they were together.
Right.
So they get attacked. They're stabbed. All sorts of really bad things. They castrate her brother.
Okay.
And once they kind of leave them for dead, they hop in the car and drive out of the county to the hospital where they both die. Her brother
dies.
Lana. Well, her name at the time was Victoria. Where Lana and her brother go. Her brother actually dies, and then she dies.
Right.
But she actually doesn't. She survives, and she takes up she takes somebody else's
identity.
Gotcha. Of a girl whose parents died, and so did she in a car accident around the same time.
Right.
So,
okay.
She has to live with that from like 16 till now, 10 years later, when she starts her revenge killing. So when she starts her revenge killing, basically killing all the men that were involved.
To summarize, let me know if I'm missing anything or getting anything wrong, but basically we have Lana, who is 26 now, pairing up with her best friend, Jake, and he helps on the side, but really it sounds like it's her whole thing of being this revenge serial killer. She had a really traumatic event with her slightly older brother. And of course, like her mom died and dad was accused of being the killer and things like that. But they were attacked out of revenge. Brother dies. And then Lana, or you said her name was Victoria, assumes this new identity of Lana. And then here we are, fast forward 10 years later, where she meets Logan Bennett, who's 29, comes into town, working with the FBI to catch this serial killer. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah. What do we know about Logan Bennett?
So Logan leads the team in the profiling department. So think Criminal Minds, but with romance. So he's in town investigating her murders, but obviously he doesn't know that. She finds out pretty quickly that that's why he's here. So she tries to not envelop herself with him, but then they kind of start falling for each other. Logan, let's see, what do we know about him? He is very, needs things in control, obviously. He leads a team of about 4 other people. He never met his bio dad because he was in the military, but he has a stepdad who raised him.
What about mom?
The only really mention of his mom was that she got pretty wild in her 30s and divorced his bio dad.
I thought he didn't know his bio dad.
He didn't. He never met his bio dad.
But his mom divorced his
Yeah, because she got wild in her 30s and wanted to sleep around.
Oh.
And then eventually stepdad came into the picture.
Gotcha. Okay. Any siblings? Does Logan have any siblings?
No.
Okay. Making some notes. Doesn't know bio dad. Okay, what can you tell me about their relationship, Logan and Lana's?
Yeah, so it starts off pretty slow because obviously he's very busy with solving other serial killers on top of hers. And then she's really busy with her online trading store, but really she's going to places to kill people.
Right.
So they don't get a lot of time. So it's just kind of they talk on the phone. He kind of profiles her, detects in a detached personality, but then later on he's like, well, maybe not. They talk on the phone quite a bit, and she says that she hasn't really felt this connection with someone so soon. Basically, they flirt a lot over text and phone call while he's busy. And then they start a relationship pretty soon thereafter. But she really tries and she doesn't want to know anything about cases. She doesn't want to involve herself. She doesn't want to know what they're figured out about her case. She's very just don't tell me if you're not supposed to, blah, blah, blah.
Wait, so does he know that
He does not know.
Okay. But she is just I don't want to know what you're doing for work.
Yeah. She's don't involve me if you're not supposed to. She doesn't want to seem like she's just using him to get more information on her
Interesting.
case. Yeah,
Okay.
she just likes him for him.
Yeah. So how does their relationship progress throughout the book?
Yeah, so once they kind of get more serious, they start sleeping together on a regular basis, more like dating.
Mm-hmm.
As he's going off to solve other murders, he's out of town a lot, all sorts of different things. Their schedules are a bit chaotic, especially Logan, so they don't see each other too often, or it's in like short bursts.
Right.
But Logan has like no inkling of her
What's going on?
Yeah.
Okay. So Logan doesn't know what's going on. Relationship continues to progress.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a point at which he ends up finding out?
Yes, but not until like the very last book, I would say.
Okay.
Because she uses a lot of different forensic countermeasures in her murders. So she puts on a disguise when she goes. So she puts on men's size boots, wears a
Does
heavy
she
backpack.
wear a mustache?
No, more like she wears she wears like men's size boots and then wears a heavy backpack. So it looks when she steps like they're actually like
Yeah, it's like
the
I know what you're
person
saying,
weighs
the
more
weight
like
and
a
stuff.
man
Yeah.
as a man would. Um
Okay, I feel like that's kind of smart though.
Yeah, she like but then she purposely leaves like the victims to be found 'cause she wants to incite that fear in the other guys who see them getting
Like
killed
let them
off.
know
Yeah.
that they're next.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
Okay.
says things like the terror in his eye, they get me high. I get off on his terror. I want him for much longer. Death won't come soon. I don't believe in mercy. 3 pounds of flesh for 3 turns.
Okay.
And when the victims are found, they had been tortured for days. Fingers are cut off, their penis is cut off, all sorts of
All the things. All the digits.
torture device, yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Another interesting pick by our very own Mary Peterson.
Anytime.
Okay, so any other things that would be important for me / our listeners to know about in regards to Lana and Logan?
Yeah, so by book 1, in the end of book 1, there's a cliffhanger where Hadley, one of the FBI agents that works with Logan, shows up and asks her why she stole the identity of a dead girl.
Okay.
So she has to lie a lot, lie on her feet. A lot of these books start with like quotes from like Einstein, Confucius, Voltaire type of quotes.
Philosophical kind of stuff?
Yeah. A lot of the times she has like rehearsed things she stated questions. So she kind of, is able to kind of work her way around it. When it comes to Logan, there's another serial killer that's targeting him and therefore Lana.
Ooh.
So he pushes heavy on protection. And Lana basically says, I want him to feel as though I'm weak and need protection, calling him Logan a control freak. She doesn't want him to know that she's not scared because she can take a man because she's killed all these other
serial killer. Yeah. Okay. So she is manipulative.
Yep.
Like serial killer, murderer aside, like there are obviously some other clinical things going on there.
Right. And Lana looks into Hadley's past because she's trying to like get information on him or her. In case she tries to like dig deeper on her.
Sure.
And she finds out that her stepdad sexually assaulted her when she was a little kid. So she goes and kills that man.
Okay.
Yep. And then she finds 70 pictures of kids, naked kids, unfortunately.
Right.
And she finds one of Hadley. So she takes it and burns it because she knows in her mind that team will eventually find this guy. And they'll find the pictures, and she doesn't want Hadley to have to go through her team seeing the picture of her in that vulnerable state, and for Hadley to see it either. So she does that for her. And then this other serial killer that Logan is investigating ends up targeting Lana and attacks her. Hadley witnesses Lana killing him easily.
Okay.
And she like does this whole monologue of like people that like you, I'm killing, blah, 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 blah. But Hadley decides to keep her secret because she can tell that Lana truly cares and loves Logan and she's not just like using him.
I might have to disagree with that, but okay. Yeah. Anything else that's important for us to know?
So then kind of towards the end, once Logan finds out. So they're now the team goes to Delaney Grove because they've made the connection that all these men are from there.
Okay.
And he finally puts together that the victims are all connected because the police department, and it originates from the sexual assault and murder of Victoria, who was really Lana. Another one of the FBI profilers gets suspicious of Lana and starts putting pieces together. And once the truth is revealed, Logan really struggles with the conflicting evidence and his protective feelings for Lana. He confronts her, and it's really emotionally explosive. Because Logan, he's an FBI profiler, he's devastated, obviously. Right. He can't reconcile this woman that he's in love with, Lana, and the monstrous, calculated killer that's Victoria. His initial reaction is obviously fury and disbelief, breaking up with her and threatening to arrest her. But that doesn't stop Lana from giving up on her revenge plot, so she goes through with her final thing of killing the sheriff and all the cops who are also like dirty cops. And then the book ends with like a fire, and Logan thinks she dies in the fire.
Does she?
No. Logan, in his grief over Lana's death, he kind of undergoes this transformation, and he realizes that Lana's actions were only the way to was the only kind of justice that would ever be served to these people.
Okay.
And the town got what they deserved. He accepts the monster and the victim as one and the same. And his final act of kind of love and devotion acceptance, he tracks down Jake's father, who is the last person responsible for what happened to Lana, and kills him. And then in the epilogue, you see that Lana and Logan reunite, and they've accepted kind of what's happened, and they decide to live together on the run, traveling on a boat with Jake and his girlfriend, Hadley.
I thought Jake was gay.
Jake is bi. Her brother was gay.
Okay, yes.
And then the epilogue, you see that their happily ever after is not as a traditional one as you would think, because Logan will occasionally give Lana names of unrepented abusers and killers who have slipped through the legal system, and quietly allows Lana to continue her brutal form of vigilante justice.
What the hell? I mean, truly, what is this? What is this? And this is like, how many books in this series?
It's like 5 small, like 100-page books put together in one type of thing.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely insane. Okay. I must gather my thoughts here. Let me first say, well, my mind's going in a lot of directions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just imagine if you were reading it.
Yes. Couldn't be me. That's shade to you. Should we analyze you and why you keep picking these books?
Oh my god, no.
If Lana was to walk into my office today, what do you think some of her presenting problems would be? Obviously, through her lens?
I feel like she would say she's fine. She's got it covered. Nothing's wrong with her. She's just getting revenge. She says she has psychopathic tendencies, but she's not a psychopath per se.
She defines it that way?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. And that is interesting with someone who is presenting the way that Lana presents, is they would never find their way to my office unless they were like forced to, because they may not believe that they have a problem, even though they're actively murdering people. Okay, so thinking of Lana through an attachment lens like we did last episode with some of our characters, where do you think she falls? We've got secure,
avoidant.
Avoidant, yeah. What makes you say that?
Because she originally is kind of just like, oh, when it comes to Logan, she's like, I don't want to get close. Like, anytime I try and get close, nothing really ever happens. Like, I can't ever have that. I don't have that connection, that spark. And then they kind of butt heads sometimes when he's like really like trying to be protective of her, and she's like, don't do that, I'm fine. She doesn't show a lot of emotion for the most part. Things like that.
Yeah, definitely seems like some avoidant tendencies. I'm going to take it a step further, and I think that she falls into the fearful, avoidant, dismissive category. There's a lot of trauma there. And I know that you were mentioning that she loves Logan and whatever, but like, this isn't love.
Yes, it is.
This isn't how people show each other love, by doing things like this. You know, this is very much rooted in trauma. Absolutely not. It's the classic, like, you're not okay, so I can't trust you, and I'm not okay. Yeah.
But he's fine.
He's not fine. Are you kidding me? He ends up totally partnering
but that's like
up with
towards like the end of the book. But like for the main majority of the books, he's chilling. He's just trying to help.
You had mentioned that he is pretty controlling, like needs
more
to
like,
be in control.
Yeah, more like meticulous with like having things, like making sure everything is
done a certain way,
going good. Like,
yeah, but I'm curious when things aren't going within his control, like when things start to feel out of his control, how he reacts.
There wasn't a point when Lana left her home when she was under like protective surveillance because of the serial killer that was targeting Logan. And he kind of like, I don't know if blew up's the right like wording, but like he was like, "What are you doing? Like you can't be here." And she's like, "What the hell are you yelling at me for? Like I just want to make sure you're okay." He's like, "Blah blah blah." So but I think more out of like fear.
Sure. Yeah, out of fear. And
reaction.
that's, a lot of times that stuff is kind of rooted in fear of like, if I'm not in control of everything, like I'm afraid of what's going to happen, or I'm afraid of, things not going the way that I think that they need to go, which makes sense. And maybe he's not wrong for having an outburst if the person he's in love with, leaves their protective detail or, like that kind of makes sense. Also, though, because we know that he ends up being okay with what she's doing and even encouraging it, that tells us that there's something not quite right there. So thinking diagnosis-wise, let's break out the handy-dandy DSM-5, and we are going to flip right to the personality disorder section for Little Miss Lana.
Okay.
So we are flipping to the cluster B personality disorder section, and we're going to go straight into antisocial personality disorder. And I will say with a caveat is, in real life, of course, I would never immediately diagnose someone with a personality disorder after meeting them and hearing just a snippet of their story. So with that, though, let's jump into what sounds like maybe Lana having some anti-social personality disorder traits. Again, I don't know if I would actually give her the full diagnosis, but let me know if we're on track here. So some of the diagnostic criteria would be a pervasive pattern of disregard for and violation of the rights of others, occurring since age 15, which I know she was 16 when all that stuff happened, but
and then she didn't start like killing these men until like
20s,
late 20, like she's 26 now, so like I think within like that year.
Okay. So it's indicated by 3 or more of the following. So failure to conform to social norms with respect to lawful behaviors, murder, hello.
Yeah, murder.
Hello. Deceitfulness as indicated by repeated lying, use of aliases or conning others for personal profit or pleasure, impulsivity or failure to plan ahead, irritability or aggressiveness as indicated by repeated physical fights or assaults, reckless disregard for safety of self or others, consistent irresponsibility. That would be like not honoring financial obligations or inconsistent work behavior. Lack of remorse as indicated by being indifferent to or rationalizing having hurt, mistreated, or stolen from another. And that one I really wanted to hone in on because I couldn't tell from what you were saying. Does she have some remorse or maybe not
for
remorse?
Who she kills?
Yeah, it sounds like she doesn't have remorse for them, but does she have any empathy? Like, is there... Okay, how would you define that?
So she... I don't know, it's hard. Like, she clearly, like, feels a lot of kind of needing to avenge people. Like, she killed Hadley's stepfather. She hates to think of the fact that Logan could get hurt because of her and what she's doing with her hometown people. She promises Hadley that if she got caught and if ever it came down to it, she would never make Logan be the one to kill her type of thing. Like how the revenge killers die by suicide or whatever.
Right.
She hates lying to Logan.
She does it anyway.
Right, but she kind of will give him as much truth as she can. So she has like a big scar from when they stabbed her with glass during the attack.
Sure.
So when he asked her about the scar, she said, it's from a car accident where I got stabbed with glass. So like half truth where she can. Without giving too much away.
Yeah, so there might be where she's not completely devoid of emotion. It sounds like she's not completely devoid of some empathy, maybe, for others. So that's why I'd be hesitant to fully give her an antisocial personality disorder diagnosis. However, I don't want to ignore her very complex trauma history, which makes me feel very confident about going the route of, at minimum, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, so C-PTSD, which would not be an excuse for her killing people, but it also gives us some context and helps us understand as to why, because she has this complicated traumatic history, why she would want to seek revenge on these people.
And it's not like she's killing just like innocent people who look at her the wrong way type of thing. She has a specific list of all the males that were there that night that had something to do with the attack and her dad and everything.
Yeah, she can justify it. It's not okay, but she has found a way to justify it. These are pretty crummy people.
Yeah.
And it's still not okay. Just to be clear, we are not pro-murder on this podcast. At least I'm not. I speak for myself.
Yeah, fine.
Some other criteria for antisocial personality disorder: individual has to be at least 18 years old. And that's something that is really important disclaimer. Teenagers are like walking personality disorders themselves because the brain's not fully developed. They're impulsive, all sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
So we never, at least I never, as a clinician, stick a personality disorder on someone younger than 18 because it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And it feels not ethically okay. So individual has to be at least 18 years old. There's evidence of conduct disorder with onset before age 15 years. So that's, again, like she's not really fitting that criteria. And then lastly, the occurrence of antisocial behavior is not exclusively during the course of schizophrenia or bipolar disorders, meaning that this is like its own thing and it's not tied to her having like schizophrenia or bipolar or something like that. Yeah. How do you feel about basically giving her C-PTSD with some antisocial personality disorder traits?
I would agree with what you said. I support... Wait, have you heard the saying, I support women's rights, but I also support women's wrongs?
Yep. I heard it here. You heard it here. Yeah, I think that sounds like an absolutely horrible history. Also, though, don't go killing people. That's not cool either. Yeah. So if Lana came into my office and was a client of mine, our treatment plan would be pretty lengthy. Yeah. And knowing that she has this traumatic history, we'd probably do some working on that first, alongside coping skills, self-regulation tools, so she can regulate her body when she's feeling angry or upset. And of course, if she disclosed that she's actively killing people, I would have to report it to the police. It sounds like the FBI already knows, though.
And they're fine with it.
I would not be. Do no harm. Yeah. So some goals would be emotional regulation, working through her trauma, and that can look very differently depending on what her needs are. But yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being they ghost me after the first session and 10 being they become a well-adjusted member of society, where would we put Lana?
She's ghosting you for sure.
She's ghosted me. Yeah. Like I said, I don't even think she'd show up. Yeah. She'd be a no-show right off the bat.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Fair enough. Therapy's not for everyone. But if you are a serial killer out there, go to therapy. Work on yourself.
Yeah.
Stop killing people. This is a PSA.
Yeah, PSA.
Said very eloquently. Yeah. Just stop.
Just stop. Don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Just don't be anxious.
Just
don't be depressed. Just be fine. You're fine.
Don't be murderous. And that's that on that. So, Mary, for listeners who enjoyed this absolutely insane sounding book, what are some other books that you would recommend?
All right. So if you liked this book or like the 5 books in the one, I would then recommend to you The Cat and Mouse Duet by H.D. Carlton, Haunting and Hunting Adeline.
Oh, I've heard mixed things about that one.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that could be an episode too. But there is a bit of vigilante, morally corrupt main hero person who's trying to help rid the world of bad people. But also he stalks his love interest.
Nope. Where's a red flag? I'm waving around a red flag right now. No stalking. That's not love.
But yeah, there is definitely strong feelings on both ends of the cat and mouse duet. People loving it, hating it. People thinking that the author should be like charged with like something, whatever. But it gets people talking, so.
Yeah, that's true. So what would you rate the Mindf series?
I rated it 5 stars. Oh, no, wait. Did I? Let me look.
I don't know if I trust your
judgment anymore. Wait, whoa. 5 stars.
Okay.
Just because it was just so crazy and like all the twists. I never saw the ending. I never didn't see coming. Just like
Yeah, a roller coaster of
roller coaster
emotions.
for sure.
Wild.
But I thought I could share some 1-star reviews of this one like we did last time. Let's see.
And just so people know, I am not that much of a hater.
She's not this boring.
It's just that Mary keeps picking these crazy books that sound so problematic.
Yeah, but that's
Give
why I picked them because
a good thriller.
Okay, well, maybe stay tuned for next week then.
Ah.
Okay, first 1-star review. The fiction was really fictioning in this one.
True.
Well, yeah, and that's why it's fiction.
It is, yeah, it is fictional.
Number 2. So terrible, I'm pretty sure I'm illiterate after reading it. Okay. Number 3. I am not continuing this criminal mind's sexcapades.
That one's my favorite one so far.
I think so, yeah. Next up. The best time I'll ever have with a 1-star book.
What does that mean?
Seems a little contradictory to me. Seems like you loved it. I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah. Next up. Overhyped, period. P.S. Logan has got to be the dumbest person in the book.
Well, actually, that brings up a good point because I was thinking when you were talking about this, he has got to feel horrible being an FBI agent, getting into a relationship with a serial killer. Hello, open up your eyes.
But also,
I mean, that's not like
and like the profile that the FBI made, the profile they made was for a male because of how much strength she had to have to overpower these guys, whatever. So like, it was never a question if it's a woman until like later on.
True. She was taking like deceptive measures. That reminds me, though. Do you know of I think she's a crime author or a journalist, Anne Rule?
Mm-mm.
Do you know of Ted Bundy?
Of course I know who Ted Bundy is. Please.
Ted Bundy used to volunteer, I want to say, for like a suicide hotline alongside this crime writer, Anne Rule, and she never knew. And even when his description, the description that the cops came out with him, was perfectly describing Ted Bundy, she was like, no, that can't be my friend Ted. But she ended up calling in alongside a couple other people, and then, that's how they confirmed it. Yeah, so people can be right under your nose. You never know.
You never know.
Mm-hmm. Craziness.
All right, next up, last one. If you said you liked this book, you're lying.
Well, Mary, are you lying?
I'm not a liar. I love this book.
Absolutely insane. So, from the clinical side of things, if this book left you feeling icky or gross, then I have some recommendations for you to try this week. Take out a journal about it, journal about why that makes you feel icky, journal about any feeling that's making you feel not super great. Do some movement. I know last week we mentioned yoga. Maybe shake it out. Just get up and do some shaking of your body.
Shake.
Exactly. That can release some of those icky feelings, some of the anxious feelings that come up when we talk about things like this. So try it out and let us know. And in this field, we like to get a second opinion. So let us know. Did we get the diagnosis right? C-PTSD and maybe some antisocial personality disorder symptoms? Or are we just totally out of our minds?
Let us know by sliding into our DMs. We're on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, the whole 9 yards, and let us know your thoughts.
And if you are listening on Apple or Spotify, please leave a 5-star review. It really gives us a nice dopamine hit that, we're always chasing.
Yeah, absolutely. Until next time, keep turning the pages.
And remember, reality is stressful. Read responsibly. And as we end, just a quick reminder, I am a licensed therapist, but this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. So the discussions here are theoretical and apply to fictional characters. This is not medical advice. I am not your therapist. And listening to this podcast does not establish a client-therapist relationship. If you are experiencing a mental health emergency, please contact 988 or go to your nearest emergency room.
And before we sign off here, I have the riddle for next week's book. It's a little short and sweet this time. I work where the darkest of secrets reside, a prison where my former love must hide. I seek out the truth with a mind full of cracks.
Hey, till next time.
Bye.
Bye.